I want to go back through his video, not watching it, not us watching it. I mean, I'm going to go back through, pick out his sections about how he did it, and then we're going to sum up our points on those sections. And at the end, and that we can either use that format in terms of because he broke it up in terms of story, gameplay, and talk about each character individually. If you remember that.
Okay.
And then talk about story. We can break, and I'm gonna use that as a framework. Then we can break it down from there, and then we're gonna talk about each one of those sections ourselves and give our criticisms about those sections or what we like about those sections. Just basically to capstone the entire thing with our part, most of our points in one part.
All right, I suppose so.
As well as on top of remember we talked about multiple times. We've had issues with Devil May Cry 5. Criticism.
I thought that our
issues.
final episode was going to basically be our criticisms of the game itself.
Exactly. Basically,
there is something that I do have a problem with Devil May Cry 5 as a whole that we haven't even gotten to.
Exactly, and the thing is, at this point, I don't think we're going to have it. So I want to structure our own video where we can talk about those to the full breadth of them, while also summarizing our points that we made across this last 10 hours.
This will be 11 and 12, actually.
Something like that. Yes.
If this is 2 hours, it'll be 12.
Cool. Half a day of Devil May Cry 5.
I don't know if I'm laughing or crying.
So we'll do something with that intro. That will be an intro of itself. Maybe it's starting now. Maybe it started 10 minutes ago. I don't know anymore. So we're just gonna fuck it. We'll do it live.
The real intro is whenever I open whatever booze we have. So this won't be the final episode on this topic.
No, it's the final episode.
The final episode of the hard truth about Devil May Cry 5.
Yes. There'll be one more.
And to mark this occasion...
The occasion of finishing this video, which was a lot harder to get through than either one of us anticipated.
I have...
James Bond.
I have a 12-year aged Macallan whiskey. Macallan. Sorry. The preferred aperitif of book canon James Bond.
Who's also a novelist.
When he drinks whiskey. It's his preferred whiskey. People are going to be like, dude, don't drink it all the time. Unsubscribe.
and to complement that fine 12 years of aging in the richest oak of barrels.
Are you going to fucking dunk on my solo cups right
now? We have red solo cups, the finest of drinking attire. I'm just throwing big words I know out.
It's a special occasion. We are both going to get crunk.
It's a good movie. Emperor's New Groove.
Just a bit. Oh, we nip.
Do you whip? Do you nay-nay?
I said a whip. I'm in a good mood. You cannot bring me down.
I'm sorry, everyone. Punish Austin has left and has returned with normal Austin.
Punish Austin left to make his own game studio. If we ever make another episode where I'm on like 1 hour of sleep, I'll be back. Punished Austin. REEsponse. What is it? REEsponse survive. Insert quarter for another play.
Did you miss me?
I didn't.
Existence is pain.
Oh yeah, we're back, boys.
I see fire whales in the sky.
Call me Ishmael.
Alright, we should probably start this. So, we already talked about anything we want to address in terms
that's
of,
so good.
It's very good.
I bought this bottle.
Yeah.
For a party.
You didn't even try it then?
No, I was drinking red wine.
Shit, you're right. Fuck.
I'm a wine guy basically now.
I mean, we don't have social lives outside of this room.
No. I'm actually under solitary confinement.
I live in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah. I have a fucking ankle bracelet. I'm not even allowed outside.
Yeah, not since
the incident.
Yeah, you
keep it vague.
No, yeah. Yeah, you have to keep that app on you so you can make sure which places you're not allowed anymore.
I'm not in the... you're a bastard. I could have just been on probation or something. I'm still under house arrest. No, but you're trying to make fucking what? Sexual predator as fucking channel lore?
Wow, you did... Wow, really?
That's too far.
Is that where you're going with that?
That's too far, sir. I say good... How dare you, sir?
I was just talking about cartels.
I say good... What?
Yeah, cartels have apps for their drug trafficking.
punished Austin Escobar. Yo quiero.
Yeah, he's actually
Black
not
tar heroin.
the game developer. That's a cover for Cartel Front.
Game developer?
That's what you said. Did you like down the half the bottle already?
No, I didn't say game developer. I said sexual predator.
No, go back farther than that when you're talking about Punished Austin. And he left to go start a video game studio.
Oh my god, you're right.
How am I the one keeping these references straight now?
Oof. Anywho, can we actually like watch the video?
Yes.
I'm like desperate to get through it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, is there anything we wanted to address or talk about in reference to previous episodes in terms of reception comments or things that we have dug up since then?
Well, like always, the Devil May Cry 5 community. I'm getting real now because we went a little far with the jokes just then.
Yes. Bring it back down.
Oh god, like I have to get ahead of it. Like start my own fucking like channel Wikipedia page. Austin is actually not on the sex offender registry. Anyway, but I'd like to give a hearty thank you to the Devil May Cry 5 community. I suppose the subreddit in general for sticking with us through this. Because I probably wouldn't have watched all the way through. And people who have are therefore either better than me or at least have longer attention spans, and I really do appreciate that.
I think that's where we differ. I would have watched this 3 times over. Well, I mean, I do that all the time. I watch content that's like 10 hours long. I'm like, it could be longer.
Yeah. Baby Yoda sips soup 10 hours looped.
Okay, this is a bit of lore of me. I feel like I have a brain illness in the way that I can listen to one song for 10 hours on loop and I don't realize. Back when I was in college, I have mastered the because I play so many MMO.
That happens to me, but only when I'm sleeping.
I've played so many MMO grind fest, just destroy your brain games. I played Dark Souls for thousands of hours. Back in college, when I would be grinding shit out in those games, I would put one song on loop. Like, I found this song, I like it a lot. I put it on YouTube, put it on loop, and then it would be 5 hours later, and my roommate would come in and be like, You still listen to that song? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And he's like, it's been 5 hours. I'm like, oh, has it really been? And it doesn't process. It doesn't process that I've been listening to the same 4-minute song for 5 hours.
That, I think I'm similar to you in a regard, whereas I will find a song that I really like, and throughout the next week and a half, I will replay it so many times
that you get sick of it,
that I eventually become physically repulsed by it.
I've done that.
Which is why I instituted my one album a night, like try a new album every night whenever you can, kind of thing. I just discovered a band called the Dead Pirates, plugging them here. They have a YouTube page. They're really good. I don't know.
All right, moving on, though.
No, motherfucker. I found, like, a Def Radio. I just found them. They're great. Their fucking YouTube page, their official YouTube page, has 1,000 subscribers. That's fucking criminal.
What is this? What is this? The title of this video again?
Oh, you're... Damn it.
Bring it back!
I thought you'd be back at bad at segues again. Just let me do whatever I want.
Nope, I'm back in it, boy. Bring it back. All right, so... Anything you wanted to address?
Put a fucking shock collar on me.
So yes, I agree with you. I'm very happy with it. Basically, anyone, even if you fucking hate this and you got through, you're up at this point. Fucking God bless you.
No, I feel as though the criticism of our videos has been mostly constructive.
No, that's the point. I've been very happy with even the people that have not liked it have replied with comments with actual constructive criticism. And have been relatively courteous. Yeah. It's wonderful, honestly.
And in all, like, what is this? This will be part 5?
I believe so.
In, like, 5 parts, like, there have been, like, 2 comments that are just like, meh, it sucks. Like,
but the thing is, even those comments have been good.
I'm just saying, like, in general, I'm super surprised.
Yes.
At how even keel and, like, nice this community has been to us, and I know from personal experience that I'm a fucking dick.
I can confirm.
You can't
You have red solo cups drinking 12-year-old wine in.
12-year aged whiskey. You uncultured fiend! It's really good shit.
Oh, don't do that with whiskey.
What'd you do?
Just sip it loudly? Ow. Just like splatters it around your entire throat. You're like, that burns.
That burns so good.
All right, we should probably watch the
should
video.
get to the video. Actually, I asked you to go back a couple of seconds before we played this because I actually had an actual question.
Really? What?
About this video. That doesn't really have anything to do with Devil May Cry 5, but the song that he plays here.
Yeah.
Is it a sample from the album Plastic Beach, or did the Gorillaz make this, and this is actually just the song from Plastic Beach?
Almost feels like you're being encouraged to just blow through
the song
really
with
quick so you can get to that second
with
part
Snoop
of
Dogg.
playthrough.
I have
But then
no
what's
idea
the
what
point
you're
of
talking about.
enjoying the game in the first place?
Plastic Beach is a great album. I'll play for you later.
Cool. I won't listen to it. But here we go, talking about gameplay.
All right.
So who said you like gameplay?
No, this is from Plastic Beach. That's just that song. That's a really good song choice.
Honestly, it's the best fighting engine I've ever played. Hands down.
All right, on that comment, do you agree or disagree?
Huh.
It's subjective inherently, but I'm saying, do you agree with that? From your viewpoint, it's not like it matters, but it's an interesting question. I
would have to say a few things subjectively.
Yeah, well,
I prefer perfect dodge. To like this game, basically you avoid damage by keeping your combo going. In a game like Bayonetta, you avoid damage by doing dodges, and if you do a perfect dodge, you get witch time. That appeals to me more. But in terms of like combo complexity, the things you can do, like this probably is the best.
Oh God, it's a good point. In terms of the sheer amount of what you can do and look cool while doing it, this is probably by far the best.
Yeah, I mean, basically any other game that I would mention would be like honorable mentions.
I mean, the other one,
like God of War 3,
the one that
or The Wonderful 101.
The one that comes close in terms of just like combo potential is Devil May Cry 4. Which it's like it's a little like, I mean, you can make the arguments and comparisons, but at this stage of the game, it's a little just like it's the same franchise.
I mean, we're looking at an old like legacy Japanese franchise that has been refined over multiple iterations.
Yeah,
and this iteration particularly has had an extreme budget. There really isn't. There's no chance, really. It's like Joaquin Phoenix versus Heath Ledger. Like, Heath Ledger's Joker is fucking great.
Hold on. Hold on there. Yes, continue.
Like, but he had no chance.
You can... But is that fair to say when a movie's all about literally just Joaquin Phoenix?
Exactly! He had no chance!
Okay, if you want to do it that way.
Like...
But the thing is, if someone comes to me and says they prefer Heath Ledger's Joker to Joaquin's, I can understand why.
If someone came to me and said I prefer Bayonetta to DMC5, I could understand why.
That's fair, I guess. We're often just subjective take land. I guess there's not much more to say here.
But
if you want to keep going, yes.
But like, I think this is probably the best one because of the extra shit that Nero gets in the post game. The Buster.
No, yeah, I got you.
The Buster Punch, whatever it's called.
Just in terms of Nero, then, like, what about in terms of Dante and Sin Devil Trigger?
Oh no, all that shit was good.
Yeah, but you're saying everything with Nero pushed it to the over
Sin
the
Devil
edge.
Trigger, playable V, like all that's icing on the cake. And then they're just like, oh, by the way, we're dumping a fucking vat of Nutella on top of your cake. Like, guess what? Everything, like, you're about to base your entire play style differently the second playthrough.
Oh, I gotta find that fucking...
That's fucking
I have to find that presentation. I mentioned this before, but, like, I love the presentation where it's Suno and, what's the other guy's name? I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. Mark... No, not Mark. Fuck. My brain keeps saying Mark Strong. What is his name?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know that.
The other guy from DMC5, the other producer that's always next to Itsuno. Either way,
Yeah, I don't
that
remember
guy
that
who's,
name, I'm sorry.
who's cool. Moving on, they do a presentation at like a GDC or something along the lines, and they're talking about their design philosophy for Devil May Cry 5 and how in terms of the way Itsuno approached 3 was that, and also most games that you can talk about, is that they have like in terms of the amount of power that you gain as a player, like reaches its peak about the midway of a game, and from that point you're just refining how you play and how good you are. And then Itsuno had the brilliant idea of like, what if we make that peak the very fucking end of the game?
What if it basically never stops?
What if the climb never stops? And so, in Zuno's own words, it's something along the lines of, you reach the super Egger Multra mega climax.
Mega Ultra Climax Bukkake time.
And they have a little graph and everything with like an ultra chart that just explodes at the. It's so entertaining.
Yeah,
I'll find it and I'll link it.
I would say because of the abilities that you gain along the way, like story-wise, your second playthrough is unrecognizable in terms of your play style.
Oh yeah,
to the first one.
The part I also like, even though it's like it's kind of minor, there's still room for it's the Buster arm, right? The actual double like the devil arm. No, what is it? Not the Devil Breaker. Sorry.
Yeah.
Even though it's an actual arm, I just thought of that and my brain hurts now.
Don't worry about it.
Moving on, there's still use for that one because it's just does so much damage if you use it as opposed to your normal breaker. But you can still use the Devil Breaker. That's great.
Yeah. So I think from an objective standpoint,
big word there.
at least right now, this is the best one.
In terms, do you want to qualify that in terms of complexity or just best one ever?
Just the way you fight, the tools you have to fight, the presentation of the fight, the fact that I didn't have any like. It's a good PC port. Like it runs well, it plays well, it looks good while you're doing it, and it's fucking complicated. There really isn't anything. It shines in almost every aspect in terms of that. For now,
Yeah. Okay.
like
I
isn't
guess
something that exists right now that's better than it. But I'm like, give it time.
I can see arguments for some things, but we can come back to that once, as you said, that if other things come out, or because you're casting, the only thing is you're casting that pretty broad. So I'm like, I could see someone coming with an argument for something else that counters.
Well, we're
it a little
talking
bit.
about the fighting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Not like the game as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of the fighting, it's like this and like Bayonetta 2.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
In terms of like upper echelon.
yes. We should keep going.
All right.
We're like 2 seconds in.
It's probably the best the series will ever get. The combat is
Now, hold on.
so fantastic.
God damn it.
I literally just said the opposite. And not only is this not this is also, I don't think this is the best the series is going to get. I think other character action games, if that even is a fucking genre, will eventually be also better than this. Bayonetta 2 came really close already. I mean, and Nier Automata, like, its fighting is also really good, and it's also a huge RPG, and it's got okay story, okay voice acting, but, like, the multiple endings thing, like, there's a ton of shit going on there that if you had to say, like, in terms of which game would you like to play again, I'd probably go with Nier.
But it's a whole package.
But, like, in terms of the fighting, I think DMC5 is good, but there are other games already that are, like, sneaking up on it.
It's great.
Yeah,
but,
so I don't see...
Well, okay, here's the thing.
I don't allow
To be
myself
fair.
to see this as a high point for the series, for character action
No,
in
to be
general.
fair, he only specified Devil May Cry in that statement. Not that it really matters too much, but he did qualify it's the best that Devil May Cry will get to.
Sure.
I
but
mean, yeah, like they're like
they just proved that they could do it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bit of a strange statement because like they just proved that Devil May Cry. You're saying Devil May Cry 5 is probably one of the best that it's ever been, and then like, well, what's stopping it from six from being better? Who knows?
Once I beat 4 for the first time, I was like, it will never be better than Devil
Doesn't
May
matter.
Cry 3.
This really isn't much of a statement. This is just basically I'm writing a script. Then here's a line to throw in.
True, but
I don't think
remember what I just said.
Yes.
When I beat 4 for the first time, I looked at myself and I said, it will never be better than Devil May Cry 3. I've thought that thing that he said, and I've already been wrong.
Yep.
So deep and so intuitive, that it almost makes up for the colossal disappointment that is every other aspect of this game. But it's a fact that I'm worried will fly past all of those first-time players. Because after spending hours in Bloody Palace and the Void, I've realized just how badly the actual game sets you up for failure.
What?
With the lower difficulty and constant character switching, you never get good at anyone's fighting engines.
Okay, that's pretty, like, that's he's saying it like it's a fact, but
that happened to me, and therefore it happened to everyone.
I was thinking he's saying like that's a fact, but that's very subjective. Like, by the time I finished, beat Virgil, on mission 20 as Dante, I had a very good grasp of how to play Dante, and I sucked with Dante in 4 and 3, even by the end. Be it like, if it's your first time playing a Devil May Cry game, that's not. I let it pass since I didn't want to get off on a tangent about it. But he mentioned that, like, the game is extremely intuitive. I'm like, that's one of the things I would probably criticize Devil May Cry is in general. And honestly, these kind of games, they're not that intuitive, all things considered.
No, the game has, like, if you want to do a cool combo, you got to figure out how to do it.
You got to figure out, basically,
there are no tutorials.
There is, like, it's intuitive once you have that like revelation that you can combo anything into anything else, and then your brain starts going like, oh my god, I can do this and this.
You start concocting formulas.
But the area of land and playtime that exists before that realization, you're like, all right, I have this one combo that it hits a bunch, and then I can do a dodge, and then I can launch him. Oh, I can shoot him a few times. That's cool. Like, you have to reach the point where you start getting good enough at certain moves, and you're like, wait, I can launch, then do a stinger, and then shoot him to keep him airborne, and then hit him with, oh.
Yeah, it's like if you played Devil May Cry 3, used a bunch of gold orbs, and did nothing but, like, stingering all the time.
Yeah, you can play the game that way.
You can beat the game like that.
Oh, yeah. Is it you have to have that realization of that's not what the game is meant to be. Be it they incentivize you to play cool with the whole style system, and that there's a really good reason that exists.
It's literally like, hey, this game is tough. If you're good at it, you're cool.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're supposed to be a cool guy. Juggle him a million times, and then finish it with the super glowing sword move. You fucking noob.
That's weird. It's a weird statement that he threw out here.
Yeah. Because, like, I could see the argument in the early game when it ricochets you between Nero and...
This might just be me.
Yes.
But does that smack as someone who thinks they're really good at the game?
I don't know.
Like, if someone was like, yo, I liked... Dark Souls 3 was pretty good, but I thought it was too easy.
Well, what did he say about difficulty? He didn't... He says the game's too easy before, but he only said difficulty. He didn't quantify if it was too hard or easy in that statement. Let's roll it back real quick. Let's get the statement again.
Fly past all of those first-time players.
Okay.
Because after spending hours in Bloody Palace and the Void, I've realized just how badly the actual game sets you up for failure. With the lower difficulty and constant character switching, you never get good at anyone's fighting engines. And what's worse...
You never get good because you're constantly being switched between characters and the game's too easy. But that doesn't make sense to me. Well, I mean, okay... That doesn't make sense to me in terms of Devil May Cry. Getting good at a character is being able to do cool things.
I couldn't get good at any of these characters, but the game's too easy.
But don't you understand though? In a Devil May Cry game, when the difficulty's easier, you're able to do the combos and juggling things cooler because you're getting punished less for getting hit. So it's incentivizing you exploring the character's moveset more instead of just focusing on the one thing that does a lot of damage. Be it, let me put it this way: if you play Devil May Cry 4,
This is what he just said.
Let me finish.
Okay.
If you play Devil May Cry 4 as Nero the entire game on a super high difficulty, and you realize that the move you can kill any enemy in the game with one shot is you just charge the pistol to its max level, and you're not that good at comboing or doing moves, what you're going to do is just charge up the pistol and jump around the arena and keep one-shotting everything. I know that's a problem because that's what I did when I played the harder difficulties as Nero. You were going to say, though, that's my point here. Like, the easier difficulties, at least for Devil May Cry 5, normally helps you develop a sense of the character better. That's my point.
He said... This might just be me, but he said, I couldn't get good with any of the characters, but I found the game to be too easy.
Oh, I don't know if he's saying that, though. I feel like you're drawing a bit more out of it there, but, I mean, we don't know.
Just from what he said... Those two statements, now that I think about it, are at cross purposes.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, is that, like, they're non sequitur between one another. It's weird.
Basically, what he's saying is technically a problem with the game that I agree with. I think all difficulties should have been unlocked on purchase.
Yeah, I agree.
Basically, when you buy the game and every difficulty is available. That's what it was with SE.
Was it?
My first playthrough of Street Fighter, Devil May Cry 4 SE was on Legendary Dark Knight.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, I agree with him that I think that all of the difficulties should have been unlocked.
Well, we don't even know if he's saying that. He's just saying it's too easy. Because the thing is, he could be saying that even the hard difficulty is too easy. That's what it means.
He's like, first-time players are getting their hands held because the game is too easy when you first play it.
I don't understand that. Like, the reason, like, the design philosophy behind that, the reason they locked out the harder difficulty is they want people to play on the easier difficulties to get a sense of how the game is played better by the time they finish it. So on a subsequent playthrough, it's when it gets harder.
Like, I think they shouldn't have done that, but I also agree with why they did it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we already had this conversation, I think, last episode.
That's what happens when you get to part 5.
Well, because there's a lot of intersect in this video that comes back to previous points, but
there are a lot of things that are said multiple times.
So I'm going to try and keep it brief, but that's it's not a black and white issue in terms of which is better, having all difficulties or limiting the difficulties, so that newer players don't go into the game at the higher difficulty and start playing the game. You can incorrectly, even though I don't say it to me, but basically by trying to just do the only high damage move, spam it a bunch of times, and just get through the game without learning that the game is about doing cool combos and stuff.
And you can go into practice mode whenever you want.
Yes, to practice. So like it's. I don't agree with him about where he's going with this, and I don't know what his final point is going to be yet. If it's what you're saying that all difficulties should be unlocked, I agree with that, but I don't agree with anywhere he got there. But let's see where he's taking this point.
All right, I'm in.
That with a piggy bank full of gold orbs, you never have to get good to beat the game.
Okay, so his criticism is that you don't have to get good to beat the game because of gold orbs. Yes, that's true. Does that make the game bad, or is that just a bad?
That makes you bad at it.
That makes you bad at it. It doesn't make the game particularly bad. I mean, it's nice in a way that if you wanted to just experience the story of the game, there's an avenue for you to get through.
Okay, we actually have a way to qualify this.
Okay.
This game is pretty challenging. So, in today's day and age, I suppose you could call it, there are ways for you to get through it. So you don't feel like you were burned $60 if you wanted to enjoy the game, but you didn't really know how to get into it.
That's true.
As instead of Capcom having to re-release Devil May Cry 5, Dante's Awakening, so motherfuckers in America can play the thing.
It's a good point.
I think they went a little too far with driver aids, let's call it. Like gold orbs versus red orbs, both of them working a little much. That's a Capcom thing. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
But I think that on the other side, if I was like not particularly great at the game, I found myself getting stuck and frustrated, I would also dislike that.
Yeah, it's an anecdotal example. But my girlfriend played through all Devil May Cry 5 and beat it. She's not exactly the best in terms of what the kind of game Devil May Cry is in terms of the high combos and skill ceiling.
I'm not entirely sure what she usually plays.
Not this kind of game.
Okay.
And so she was able to beat it through the help of the gold orb system. And so I can't say it's a bad system because it does allow for someone with a less skill level to play through the game and beat it and then enjoy the story and the world.
To experience the game until the end and decide whether or not the game is worth more of their time.
To invest more in, yeah.
Okay, you know what?
It's a bit subjective.
You kind of got me on board with that.
It's a bit subjective in the way that, like, do you value the exclusivity club of, like, say, like a Dark Souls, where like the whole point of it is get good scrub.
Like I beat Dark Souls 3. I thought it was a little easy.
The whole point of it is to climb that mountain of challenge, and if you got to that, if you got to that top of the mountain, you're Mr. Exclusive Club.
You take your picture of like S ranks and all of the stuff, and you post it on the internet and go like, look at me, it's huge.
Or you have it so it's accessible, so other people can get into it, and you can grow the franchise, and more people like it.
And other people look at your dick and they go, "Yeah, it's huge."
Like neither one is particularly bad in my opinion, because like this
game admirably attempts to do both.
Yes, Because like thing is, I understand that mount. Like okay, the explicit example. I mean, outside of Dark Souls, you remember the getting over it with Bennett Foddy, the climbing the stupid mountain in the bucket and the sledgehammer.
Yeah, okay, I would have used a different game.
The reason I'm bringing this one up is because the game literally has a little like video or website you can go to if you beat the game and you're not streaming and you're not recording it. So it's the like mountain climber exclusive club.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm talking about. And like so I can understand wanting people to preserve that sort of little club thing, but at the same time you're like, okay, you have to kind of be like, I'm not putting this on anyone, but it's like. Don't gatekeep so much. Let other people enjoy this game and understand why you like it. And if the game has a healing system, don't be like, "Hey, fuck you, you scrub boy." Be like, "Hey, no, you played the game and you enjoyed it too."
I don't think that's what he's saying.
I know. I'm expanding this point
because this game gives you tools to get through it without being frustrated too much. You're not incentivized
to get good. Yes,
if you have to choose whether or not you want to get good.
Yes, and he's saying, and he's extrapolating that to be a bad design system when we've expanded upon the fact that there's reasons that exist that are for the benefit of the game and gameplay for players of many different skill levels. I don't. Anything else you want to expand on that? I think we kind of covered that.
Yeah, I do have something to say.
Sure. What?
I forgot to do my yearly attempt at Ninja Gaiden Black.
I'll watch it. Go for it.
Oh.
We'll expand upon that in a later video.
Okay.
The only people who are actually going to return to Devil May Cry 5 after beating it are series veterans or people who already like fighting games.
Disagree.
The third category of that are the people that got through the game using a lot of gold orbs and enjoyed the gameplay and playing it and wanted to get better at it because they enjoyed the gameplay and the fighting the game, which you already agree is the best in the series and is very good. You even said it was intuitive, which I disagree with, but if you say it's intuitive, then people that are not as good at the game...
Intuitive means basically player-friendly.
Yeah, which I disagree a little bit on, but to an extent, the game
I
works.
think the most intuitive thing that this game does is gives you a practice mode.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
where you can go, you don't have the pressure of having to beat a level. You can just go and try your shit out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is intuitive in this. That's the player-friendly addition to the game. Did you spill my Macallan?
I did. Fucking red Solo cups.
Oh yeah. Yeah, blame that.
So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say though.
No, I think we can keep going.
I agree.
But if you never seek it out, or no one ever tells you, you'll never know.
No one ever tells you? The game's literally like, guess what? You have a new arm.
No,
you have a permanent arm.
I think it's in terms of
play with it.
No, in terms of in terms of the style, in terms of getting good and doing combos and stuff. I'm like, well, that's not exactly true. We talked about the style ranking exists to tell you like, hey, there's more to getting through a fight than just beating the fight. It's being cool in the fight and trying out different moves.
The style system is there to
tell you that,
incentivize you to try
to tell you that.
It's like in Hitman.
Yeah, exactly. You can get through the level, but it's by walking up and killing everyone in your way. But that's not the cool guy way to do it.
Or even Hitman Absolution, I think is probably the most hard thing with this. Whereas if you fuck up, it will literally just dock you points as you're playing it. They show the big minus 100. You killed a witness. So it's a good way of incentivizing something rather than penalizing not doing it. And I think incentivizing someone to do in terms of anything.
Yeah, in terms of just general broad appeal, audience-wise.
In order to get human beings to do things with their time, incentivizing something is better than penalizing someone for not doing it.
Yes, very true.
It's actually I have a perfect example.
Sure.
I hate survival games. In general. There has to be a survival game that, Outward, that happens to have, a bunch of other cool mechanics. But if someone wants me to play, Rust or Green Hell, I'm like, fucking pass.
To expand on that, not expand about it, but real quick, because the enjoyment of Rust isn't the survival mechanics. It's the player interactions, which I don't care about at all either.
I never even got that far.
What I'm saying is that that's not the reason people enjoy the game. If they
I hear
survival
that it's
mechanics,
more of like a social area that's constantly like...
Yes.
It's like The Walking Dead.
Yes.
People just constantly die.
but I understand.
Season 2 of Rust was crazy.
But I understand what your point is. That
Yes,
just
okay.
straight survival mechanics. But continue. I just wanted to clarify that.
Like, in survival games, I hate hunting to get food to prevent myself from being debuffed by hunger. But, and this is one of the only things I like about it, in Final Fantasy 15, I was like, yo, where's the food at? Let me get... Igni was like, that's it, I've discovered a new recipe. And I'm like, yes! What is it? And it just like Monster Hunter. Like, you put in the time to buff yourself, to make that number go up.
Yep.
It's an insane... Like, technically, if you don't buff yourself, you can get fucked. But it's like, if you buff yourself, you can be better. It's not eat now or you'll die.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
That's the incentive term. Like, that's the way that I can qualify it for me recently.
I understand.
I could have gone like back in time where when I was in school, they were like, you have to read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I was like,
though.
fuck this.
It's a good book, though.
That's stupid.
It's a better movie,
And
too.
then like 10 years later, I just read it on my own and I loved it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, this is super subjective territory. Like, but
I went to a fun place. That doesn't really have anything to do with Devil May Cry.
yeah, all right. I guess we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Peace with the fact that Itsuno did not care about telling a good story.
Ooh.
Sort of.
Oh, let's not talk about that. But just go. Feel the oof.
Dude,
Internalize the oof,
we've been debunking that for 11 hours.
and let's continue.
Do we have to talk about it again?
By which I mean never.
Isuno didn't want to tell a good story. Moving on.
But I am here to tell you, if you don't take the time to learn this combat engine, you are wasting your time playing this game. In fact, the only reason to buy this
Disagree.
game, I think,
Disagree.
is to play through Bloody Palace.
Okay, well, I guess at the very least he likes the combat system enough.
Well,
to,
no, like...
but like, oh god, oh no.
Yeah, but then again, we don't even have to talk about this.
No, yeah.
Because if he thinks that saying that the fighting is the only good part about it is just like saying that the story is terrible. And we've talked about the story, so we don't even really have to talk about this either.
You know what I find funny? Is that we're in the gameplay section, and all he's doing is now is talking about how the story is still bad. Let's keep going. Let's hope we get some points about the gameplay.
Bloody
Sorry, I
Palace,
shrugged. Again, physical comedy does not work
there are
on the audio
no
show.
gold orbs.
All right.
Is to play through Bloody Palace.
Okay.
In Bloody Palace, there are no gold orbs. And with the insane revolving door of enemies, you are constantly facing new challenges and discovering new ways to play these characters.
Yeah, because Bloody Palace is that mountain to climb. It's the one thing that Devil May Cry 5
But I would
introduced.
say that the game on even one harder difficulty than the one you did before was that exactly.
Oh yeah, but his point is that Bloody Palace is better because you can't revive and use gold orbs.
Bloody
to get through
Palace
it.
is better because it doesn't have story.
The thing is, because we already talked about it, I can see his
Bundle
viewpoint.
Bloody Palace separately. DMC5 Lite. It's a free-to-play game with no story.
Bloody Palace was a free update anyway. Fucking hell. Moving on though, like I can understand his viewpoint of he wants. I don't want to say gatekeep, but he's gatekeeping the mountain climbing aspect of Devil May Cry.
Is it just me, or is it kind of weird that in every gameplay, like in every shot of gameplay here, he's sourcing someone else?
No, I don't know.
He doesn't have footage of himself playing it?
I don't want to.
Does that mean that he, like, okay, this is a theory
You're going? Yeah, I don't. I already know where you're going with this. I don't agree with it. He might not have good recording equipment
that
for
he
his
played
for
it
his
the
thing.
one time?
I don't know. This is up to you. I don't agree with this interpretation because there's nothing to go off of this interpretation. It could be true. It would explain some things, but I don't know.
I noticed it.
I know. That's all we can say. All I'm going to say is that like maybe he doesn't have a good recording software. Maybe he's playing.
It's possible, but the dude can fucking edit.
Yes!
He's got great editing software.
Yes!
And with it, and like capture software is free.
Well, it depends what he's playing it on. We don't know if he's playing on PC. Actually, this video came out. I think this video came out before the game was on PC. So
When did it get released on PC?
I don't know. I think it was actually. I don't think it was the same time as the console release. I could be wrong now. I forgot to look that up.
Okay. Is this a PS4 or an Xbox? Because capturing footage on Xbox is also free.
Well, in terms of the quality you can get on Xbox is pretty low. You can only do 30 frames and
But
70.
if you were saying like I like the combat in this game and I did the combat in this game, wouldn't you want at least one?
Okay, I'm gonna steel
the
man
scenes to be you.
No, I'm steel manning him for this one in the way that like if he as you said, if he cares as much about editing and doing a good job in terms of making a good video, he's gonna.
Maybe he thinks that like there are people out there that are cooler than me and can show off this aspect of the game more.
Yes,
and I should go to them first,
as well as getting higher fidelity footage for my video to keep the continuity of the video looking good, being good.
I could go 50-50 on that.
What I'm saying is that, like, yes,
we don't have enough information to go one way or the other.
That's my point.
It's just that with the way that this video has gone, I went like,
yes,
I wonder.
I think yes, they would explain some things, but there's no proof to anything else. So I'm not going to extrapolate and say something and thus something negative about him in that regard.
But I will also say he does credit these people,
which is good.
Yes,
there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great, actually.
Did it sound like I was admonishing him for that?
No, you're pretty negative about most things, so I think that's where I defect.
I like that he credited.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. Oh yeah, the
When
channel
you
name
die,
is Austin Hates
you die.
Things.
There's actually stakes. And if you find things getting too tough, you can actually replay any level you want for practice.
Oh, that's cool.
So great. It's so satisfying.
I didn't play much Buddy Plows, so I didn't know that.
Yeah,
the
but
game.
there's a practice mode.
Of the three end.
The game already has a practice mode.
Yeah, well,
And you can replay levels in the story.
Well, yes, but in terms, we were talking about just Bloody Palace in this. In terms of practicing a level that you've gotten to that always kicks your ass, that's pretty cool.
Yes, but he's saying that Bloody Palace is better
Than everything else.
Because
Because it has.
and he's talking about features that the regular game already has.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We have to stop shrugging.
It's so satisfying. It's better than the game. Of the three
Disagree.
engines, Dante's is clearly
It's a
the
fun
best
addition
and
to the
always-
game.
Ooh,
but
that's-
if they put out the Bloody Palace as a standalone, I would fucking pass.
Oh, big time. The reason, like, at least for me, I always care about story. And the reason I played Devil May Cry 5 is I was hyped as shit to see what was going on with the story, what was going on with Dante, Nero, such as that. But like, let's stay on focus with his gameplay. I don't know if you just heard what he just said here, and it was very interesting.
Practice. It's so great. It's so satisfying. It's better than the game. Of the three engines, Dante's is clearly the best and always will be. I'm perfectly functional at Dante and style
Disagree.
switching by myself, but
Hold on.
seeing these videos online of other players just fucking annihilating this game.
He's using
It's
Dunguri.
giving me such
Oh, well, I mean, if you're gonna go to someone in terms of combo mads, it's gonna be
Think Dunguri
Dunguri.
knows.
Probably not. It's hard as shit to contact him, from what I understand. Moving on, though.
Okay.
He credits him, and like in terms of showing the high terms gameplay, that'd be the person to go to. But regardless, say like it. I don't know what to say about it. In terms of Dante just being the best,
Nero is better than Dante.
I kind of agree. And honestly, in terms of what you now that people have more time to play with it, you can do a lot with Dante, but you can do a fuck ton with Nero. And even with V, I've been impressed with how much people have pulled out of V in terms of combos.
I think getting good with V is more impressive than getting good with
It's
Dante.
more impressive, like-
and I think that getting good with Nero is easier than getting good with Dante.
I agree.
Nero has a low bar of entry. He's easy to learn, difficult to master.
Oh, yeah,
which I think is the best that a fighting game can be.
I think I agree with that.
Dante's, he's good. He's always been good. He's still good.
Yeah, in terms of like probably the vastness of everything, probably Dante is still a bit more, but Nero just has so much stuff you can kind of put together.
Are you kidding me? The breaker punch can fucking increase any combo. You can combo anything into any. You can combo enters into other combo enters.
No, yes, I know.
Fuck you, Dante's better.
I know. No, what I mean is in terms of the amount of combos that Dante have in terms of his weapons across all his weapons. He probably has more combos in those, like, not overall combos, I'm saying just moves. Sorry, that move set is probably the word I should be using here. Dante probably has a larger moveset than Nero, but Nero probably has a larger breadth of what you can do with in terms of continuers in combos. I don't know. This is very. I'm not an expert on these things.
Why do we need to rank him?
We don't. That's another thing to say.
Like, I think that Nero is, like, fucking joyous.
Literally, the only thing...
By the end of that game.
The only hard statement I'll agree with is that in terms of overall depth, V's is probably the least depth-filled. But
that's the way it seems.
It
and then
seems.
you look on YouTube
That's a
and
good
people
point.
are like, guess what?
Guess what? I've done this... Like,
Hey, you know, promotion, that thing that you only did, like, once or twice? You can base your entire playthrough on that.
oh, my God.
Like, oh, wow! This is subjective.
Yes.
What I'm about to say. I just, like, I was already good at Dante. And I was doing Dante combos. And I went, kind of wish there was something more here.
Okay.
Like, Dante's kind of been done a little bit.
I think with this game... Obviously, with this game...
I didn't have the hard, like, this is boring.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times when I, like, in the back of my head, I just had this little twinge of, like, man, I wonder what the new breaker arm's gonna be.
That's true. I think the reason being is that, like, this game, at least for Dante, is more of a victory lap instead of introducing new things.
Yeah.
It's not typically... It's not a
this
bad
is
thing
not
in any way,
a
shape, or
problem.
form.
Like,
Yeah, as you said, it's very subjective.
Nero is the main character going forward.
Yeah.
And his moveset just fucking exploded with complexity.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Like, phasing Dante to a more, I suppose you could say, like, he was star, then co-star. Now he's important side character. And in the next game, he'll probably be, like, hype-ass cameo.
Yeah, that's probably... honestly, that's what I would like
And
to
you know
say.
what?
All
I'm
things considered.
really glad. Because there was a point in this game where I was like,
Well, I want to play more Nero.
I want to see what else you got.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Admittedly, they got me back by remixing the Swordmaster, like putting Swordmaster combos into DSD. So I had a lot of fun playing around with that.
Dude, the second you
So
get...
I won't say that, like, Dante was boring for me as a veteran. That's not what I'm saying.
The second you
But
get...
I'm saying that he's like starting to get there.
I'm not going to extrapolate anything from it, but it's eyebrow raising that he's like, oh yeah, Dante's the best and always will be. Just like, oh, it's really surprising you hold that opinion.
No, it's not.
Let's keep going.
Such an appreciation for what they've created here. Second up is Nero, for the only reason that I think the breaker system isn't as deep as Dante's style switching. But that's okay. They've essentially retained everything about his moves from Devil May Cry 4, and then added an actual...
And expanded upon it.
Exactly. The breaker system was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then guess what?
And then you start seeing what you can do with them.
Regular Devil Buster shit on top of that. He has two systems.
Well, he's about to talk about the DT system.
All right.
But in terms of just Devil Breakers, in terms of you build a magazine at the beginning of the level, and if you know what you're doing on your second playthrough, you're like, all right, I'm going to stack them full of explosive things. I'm going to stop time, charge up an uppercut, death.
Oh, so good.
There's a lot of shit you can combo and do with those. Just because that you can't switch them freely doesn't mean that there isn't a depth to it. Almost you can say there's more depth to it because you have to plan out how you're going to utilize those.
Okay, I will also now say something also subjective. I love Dante's Devil Arms.
Yes, they're fucking all
They're
great.
fucking cool. All of them are great. I never but having Nero's have a selection of set weapons that you then learn combos off of.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking bonded with the Red Queen.
Yeah, honestly, that's one thing to
The
talk
Red Queen
about.
is like an old friend
That's
for
one-
me in the way that Rebellion kind of never was.
That's one thing to talk about in terms of Dante compared to Nero in Devil May Cry 5. It's absolutely 100% subjective. There's no hard thing, any hard fact
No,
here
that's
found
just
here
me.
in any way. But in terms of my playthrough, when I was playing Dante, I started just gravitating to basically just Rebellion and with the Balrog. I forget what the Balrog's in this game is.
Yeah, Balrog in this game is fucking cool.
It's fucking
He's got
great,
the
but
two modes.
I
That's
used those
awesome.
two. And at the very end, I started using Cerberus a bit much. But there's a bunch of weapons I just ignored.
Oh yeah, because you're like, I'll use Cerberus.
Yeah.
Like, it has the extra thing that makes it cool to use.
Yeah, I started using it only against Virgil at the end because I found there was a few moves against that were fucking perfect against him. That's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, like.
But in terms of Nero, literally every part of his moveset, I'm like, I have to figure out a way to use this.
Dude, seeing him rev the Red Queen is fucking joyous.
It's
really like when you're playing Zelda and someone mentions the Master Sword. You're like, oh, it's this time! Like, I don't know why, but I bond with that. Like, I'm even starting to get there with V's fucking cane.
That's true. V's cane is fucking cool.
Like, when V's cane was like a weird catalyst for the boss fight, I was like, make it a weapon. Dante, make it a weapon. Dante, pick up the cane! Oh, I was so upset.
It is upsetting that the cane is just now gone, unfortunately. Yeah. Damn.
I don't know. I mean, Rebellion was kind of like that, but the game is like, don't use just Rebellion. I don't know. It's weird. It's like the reason that I like Darksiders 1 more than Darksiders 2.
Yeah.
Like Darksiders 2 has the loot system, and I'm like, I like the Chaos Eater and the Armageddon Blade better.
Yeah.
Because you bond with these weapons.
It's so subjective.
You make the Armageddon
There's nothing hard to say
exactly.
here. Yeah.
This is all subjective, but that's just me. It's the way I've been my whole life.
Yeah.
Dude, when you forge the Armageddon Blade in Darksiders 1, you're like, this is my sword! Yeah. I will kill the world with this.
It maybe ties back to, like, could you imagine if Aragorn just halfway through cut like this bit? Oh, this is a better sword.
Stop!
Just throws away his blade.
Anduril, Flame of the West, forged from the shards of Narsil. Now, see, that's only.
But no, this one. But no, this one has +1 against orcs.
Exactly. Oof. Like, yeah, we were doing the ghost thing, and this had pluses against undead, obviously, but we're gonna be fighting like orcs now. So, can I get like an axe or something? I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's it.
The shopkeeper's like, best I can do is like 50 gold. I'm not really. I don't know if I can really sell that to anyone. No one really cares.
It's like the dude from Pawn Stars. Like, there's a really limited market for this man. I'm gonna have to bring in an expert to make sure this is even genuine. So, like, best I can do right now is like 25. Like, but I get to be on TV, right?
It's like, well, I was really hoping to be able to finance my kingdom, but I guess I can get another like letter opener out of this.
Look, I can't sell this for a whole lot. We have to pay Chun-Li's fucking bail. You know how much it takes to get someone out of jail for fucking?
That's all right. Moving on.
Yeah, Pawn Stars.
Trigger with a ton more vertical combat. One of my favorite new moves is Payline. Oh, what a beaut.
Payline's cool.
How fun is it to launch a fucking rocket arm and then ride it around? Like, there's some crazy stuff you can do in this game, and that's just the entry level. The real moves are freaking credible. V's combat rounds out the bunch and gets points for just straight up trying to be different. You feel cool and collected watching V pace the battleground, which actually the only thing you feel is
for trying to be different.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, that going into Devil May Cry 5, that was my stance entirely. Well, not really stance entirely. I was just really interested to see how they would do a puppet range character in a Devil May Cry game, and I think they nailed it.
Okay, I don't give points for trying to be different. It still has to be good.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think the only reason I was on board with it the entire time is because I like Kasuno, and I'm like, you know what? Whatever you try, show it to me. I think it'll be good.
Dude, V is awesome.
Yeah. But that's a good point. I pick up on that. Just having something different does not make good. Which is, god damn it, that's your whole
specifics.
It's your whole issue with this game is it's different than Devil May Cry 3.
Yep.
But you give it points because V's new.
I set you up, and you went, oh, hold on a minute, motherfucker.
Let's keep going.
Excruciating pain as you mercilessly mash triangle and box for the entire fight.
Oh.
The thing you feel is excruciating pain.
Oh, hold on.
V pace the battleground, which actually the only thing you feel is excruciating pain as you mercilessly mash triangle and box for the entire fight, which actually kind of makes V's fighting suck a lot.
Oh. No.
Dude, to go into practice mode and try out his shit.
Generally, like, I would say the low bar playing V...
I thought that was what V was like. I was like, yeah, he's got some stuff, but, like, your main damage dealers are mash the buttons. And then, like, the cool stuff comes from, like, you walking around and, like, zipping between dudes and, like, taunting. And then I found out that, like, fucking hedgehog spike thing. And then I was like, okay, hold on.
Yes.
Whole new world.
On top of that, everyone, each both Shadow and Griffin have hold moves that are fucking broken.
The fucking combo potential is insane here.
The one that always like is just like default to that. If you want to kill everything in the room, is just hold triangle and you charge up the spikes that come. It's the entire area. Just spikes them out there, and I think it's a launcher for a lot of enemies.
And his spike that the one spike that juts out.
Oh god,
that you can get on top of and walk on.
Oh, it's the best. Copyright. God damn it!
Copyright. Fucking alarm.
Copyright. We back? Did China get us?
Oi! You got a license for that Silent Hill? No, I put my phone on airplane mode, but I forgot about the alarm. Sorry.
All right, let's keep going. God, why'd you do? All that says to me is that like you didn't really take the time to expand upon V's thing, which I will circle back to. I'll agree with you in the way that the game doesn't do a great job.
The game doesn't force you to get good, but it also seems like you also then now actively chose not to get good.
Yes, because V is so different, but he's in the same combat system that both Nero and Dante inhabit. They couldn't really find a way to incentivize you to learn the slower hold combos for V as they would with Dante and Nero. If you see what I'm
aside from their enemies in your way,
yes,
get an S rank.
Yes. So so it's like okay, like I agree with you with that, but at the same time, like I really felt like you made an active decision not to give enough of a shit about V's combat.
I shrugged again. I fucking did it again.
But it's still super satisfying somehow. I'm not sure why. I just love floating around with Griffin or appearing in midair above someone for a kill strike. It's really fun to play. But you'll end up basically button mashing the whole time no matter what. It's just kind of how it is.
At least,
maybe I just suck.
At least he has that qualifier.
Then why put that section in? Like, is that just to make people angry?
I don't know.
Is that to get hate clicks?
I don't know.
I love the menu.
What are you doing?
I always thought it'd be cool.
Menu? I guess we're criticizing menu now, but
hey,
let's see.
Fucking critiquing a video game's UI, that's valid.
That's valid, but I should expect that in this video.
I
Let's
have
go.
a version of this in Dante's office, but I guess I'll just split the difference.
Dante's not the main character
Sex
anymore.
Dungeon motorhome.
Dante's not the fucking main character. Like, dude. Like, would it be cool to have, like in 4 SE, when you beat the game on different difficulties, you get different start menus and shit?
Yeah, but I also
fine.
Also, it makes sense
Do you know how many different start menu animations there are? There's fucking dozens.
There's dozens, and they're all, once you beat the game, Virgil starts showing up in them. It's hilarious. But I mean, it makes sense because they modeled the office, but the van that's the place that makes sense for characters to have downtime where they tune up gear. I don't know.
Like this is you liking Dante more.
I just don't.
We get it.
Yeah,
I kind of agree. I think it would be a nice little addition.
To be fair, he doesn't put it as a hard criticism, but it's a little like, come on.
I think in Clifod missions, there should be people just hanging around and landing on Clifod stocks and shit.
I guess I'll just
that's
the
cool.
difference with Nico's Sex Dungeon motorhome.
Wow, he doesn't like Nico. I didn't hear that the first time. He does not like Nico.
He wants Nico to be fucking people.
Jesus Christ. It's a little weird.
She's attractive.
It's a little... Well, it's just a van that has weapons in it. A sex dungeon wag... What?
I mean, she is attractive, and we are reaching the part where, facial capture, real attractive people's faces.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, you want her to fuck people. It's weird, but, I get the base instinct that is coming from.
He's not saying any of that, though. He's just throwing it as an insult to her. He's not saying any of that.
Yeah, but the main thing that he said when it comes to Nico is, do you think they're fucking?
Let's just keep on. Nope, we're going.
She says she's a lesbian. I don't buy it. I think
we
she
are
takes dicks.
We are moving forward.
The difference with Nico's Sex Dungeon motorhome.
Hate. He hasn't mentioned Nico for a single time without mentioning sex in some way.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but hold on. Did you just hear what he just said?
With Nico's Sex Dungeon motorhome. I still hate Devil Trigger so much, but I was surprised that the ancillary background music during the game is actually pretty good. I especially like.
Okay, I do like all the chill music in the titles. Really quite good. I like them a lot. The music's playing right now.
Again, subjective.
The chill down,
whether or not you like
chill
Devil
down
Trigger.
Nico theme is fucking great. But how dare you with Devil Trigger?
You cannot like things.
20
That's fine.
it was like-
I like Subhuman.
26 million views on YouTube. How dare you?
Really? Because I like Subhuman.
Huh? No, I'm talking about Devil Trigger.
Oh, so here's the thing. I do like Subhuman.
I hate it.
I think Subhuman is a terrible song, and I love terrible songs in Devil May Cry. Subhuman is the worst it's ever been, and therefore the best it's ever been.
If you fucking say so. At least for me, it could be a terrible song, but in terms of beats per minute, it's so slow for Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry. It just feels wrong when playing Dante, but that's just a whole other issue.
Yeah, but basically what I'm saying is, like, I have an opposite opinion.
Yeah.
And while it's not, like, it is an opposite opinion that goes against general consensus.
Uh-huh.
Just like his.
Yep.
And they are both valid, not necessarily true. They're completely subjective.
They're just subjective. It's not like, there's nothing to back them up. It's just an opinion. Moving on.
Like bopping around to the menu themes and really appreciate the files and bonus content.
Yeah, they're cool.
Even though it's all written in Nico's voice. But that about does it. We're finally at the end of the journey, at long last.
All right.
So, what are my final
It's been a long
thoughts?
one.
Your final thoughts? All right, what are your final thoughts, my friend?
5. Devil May Cry 5 is a disaster.
Oh.
The campaign is a total cluster, which gets in the way of how much fun it is to actually play this game. And even so, with everything the game is able to achieve, it's still only half a game.
What?
I shouldn't have to choose between a great story and great gameplay.
Okay, but...
Then you're in luck.
Because you don't.
You don't have to.
Not much to say, because we obviously already covered this over the course of the entire video, but it's just like, man.
Yeah, like, if you were talking about Halo 5. Halo 5, it's like, it's a good game, but the story sucks.
Yeah.
Halo 5 is, if in your interpretation of, like, what half a game is, half a game. Like, even if it's a bad story, it's still a full game. Like, okay, whatever.
But just whatever. I just don't know what to... Yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
If there was no story, it would be half a game.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
If it was just the Bloody Palace, it would be half a game.
I mean, the whole other thing is just like, fucking hell, DMC, Devil May Cry, fucking sucks story-wise, but people still enjoy it. It's not... I will, like, I hate that game, but I will never in my life call it half a game.
No, because it's not.
It's not half a game.
And I bought the definitive edition at launch to see what's different. And you know what? I liked it.
You know what? It's fun.
Yeah.
The story's still painful to get through, but it plays great.
It's like just north of fine.
Yeah.
It's a little better than fine.
Yeah. It's just like, that's a really, like, I don't know what word to say, but just
The only game in existence that I would call half a game is Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the EA games.
Yeah, because they have, like, it's...
Maybe Titanfall 1.
I can see where you could get that opinion, but I would
Because
disagree with it.
Titanfall 2, they put in the campaign, which was fucking awesome.
The campaign was great. Titanfall,
Like,
Titanfall 1...
Titanfall 2 makes Titanfall 1 retrospectively not complete by being so complete.
That's true. Oh god, this is a whole side tangent, but the reason Titanfall 1 exists the way it does is due to how it was produced, but I'm not going to get into that fucking thing.
They're both... Titanfall 1 is an online game, not for me. Titanfall 2 has a campaign that was for me, and I liked it. We both like Titanfall.
Yep.
It's not like a free to play.
Quick side tangent. This is my what you would call it, hot take, or like I guess maybe even opinion against the grain. I like Titanfall 1's multiplayer more than Titanfall 2.
I have nothing to say.
I know you have nothing to say. I'm just going to put
absolutely
I'm just
zero information.
putting it out there.
But I will say that Titanfall 1 is a fucking game.
Oh, it's so good.
It's not a complete experience, but at least it's not like a fucking like one game mode free to play microtransaction fest.
I even have complaints in terms of narratively with the story of Titanfall 2, but I can expand upon. Maybe I'll expand upon these in a different video because I have a lot to say about those two in terms of like design choices. They're more nitpicking wise, but Devil May Cry 5 time.
I'll never be happy with a cooked burger and soggy buns. It just doesn't make any sense. Especially when there are so many satisfying...
Cooked burger and soggy buns.
Half a game. That's what you're saying.
I know, yeah. I was just like, it took me a while to get that.
and well-executed examples in almost every other Devil May Cry game. Almost. But you know what? I'd still rather play Devil May Cry 2 than have to fight Urizen again.
Should we just like...
Wow.
The thing I'll put out to this is everyone here now listening to this, go watch Crobat's Real Gamers Don't Skip Devil May Cry 2. And that'll sum up why that's a horrible argument.
He would rather play Devil May Cry 2
than fight Urizen.
Than fight Urizen.
Even the first Urizen fight where it's you have to lose and there isn't even much mechanics in it wise. He never stands up. You just have to dodge attacks. Even that boss fight has more mechanics and is better thought out and is infinitely better than every single boss fight in Devil May Cry 2.
This has never happened to me before. I'm fucking speechless.
He fucking shit. Hold on, wait a minute. 1 second.
Almost.
This is Crobat's videos that he's not sourcing. This is literally Crobat's video, and he didn't. Sorry, I got a little mad. I know this footage.
I'd still rather.
Dante's gonna walk forward a bit. Yeah, he's gonna walk forward again. He's gonna start shooting them and they're gonna lift him to the air. Yeah, this is.
I mean, okay, I know what he's doing here.
No, I know.
It's the hyperbole again. It's to get people angry.
It's a hyperbole.
It worked on me. It just worked on me.
I don't think the point is to make people angry. But I'm sorry. I'm off on a tangent in the way that he sourced every other fucking thing, but he's not giving reference to Crobat for the video he just took.
So what about like the rest of the footage? Do you think that's him too?
Well, in terms of if it's just cutscenes and stuff, then
it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. You can get it from anywhere. But if someone like Crobat edited it, made this video, and put this all together, and you're not sourcing them, maybe it's in the description. I'll check after this, but I'm a little pissed off about that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw it back.
That's like the hardest statement.
I'd rather play Devil May Cry 2.
Play Devil May Cry 2 than.
I never got bored of the Urizen fights. I mean, that's a subjective take, but like each one adds a new layer of Urizen.
That's an objective take.
That's a good point, yeah.
Because every single fight is similar but different.
But adds a new we've already talked about it. You can't even compare the last Urizen fight to any of the Urizen fights. You can't even compare stand-up Urizen to like the City Urizen fights. They're different boss fights. It's just the same character you're fighting, but entirely different
if you want to get
mechanics.
Like nitty-gritty semantics, like get into the details,
yeah.
The first fight technically isn't really a boss fight.
No, it's not. It's just
the first time, like the time you fight him for the second time is the first Urizen boss fight.
Yes.
So that means that every boss fight that you fight with Urizen, like semantically, every time you fight Urizen as a boss, he's different.
Yeah, it's a different boss. Like it's just the same character, just a different boss. Pretty much.
As opposed to Devil May Cry 2.
Oh god.
Where it literally doesn't matter
every boss
what boss you're fighting.
You kill him the exact same way.
Because you fight him the same way. We're talking about this now. This is where we are. You remember when we thought we were going to agree with this?
This one, yeah, we thought like, oh, the gameplay section. This should be pretty easy. He said he liked the gameplay.
Episode 4 was fucking triumphant compared to this.
Rather play Devil May Cry 2.
And he really wasn't, like, he was, kind of being a bit disingenuous.
It was mostly hyperbole. It wasn't terrible.
Hyperbole stuff. Like, we get that. That's fine. Like, you were angry at, like, the DMC fan base and you wanted to, you wanted to stick it to him.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. I've been defensive before. It happens.
But Devil May Cry 2.
This is fucking Looney Tunes, dude.
I mean, you've seen the Crobat video. You're using his footage. You know how egregious it is to even play. Even, like, from bosses to general gameplay. There's no combos. The guns start air juggle themselves. Oh.
I'm done talking.
And let's just move on.
I'd still rather play Devil May Cry 2 than have to fight Urizen again. At least DMC2 knows what it is.
What?
I have to say again that it feels weak.
Devil May Cry 2 doesn't know what it is. It thought it was going to be a good sequel.
It tried to do something that it failed at.
It was rushed, but like they were trying to make a game that was a good sequel to Devil May Cry 1. They focused on too much of the spectacle and not in terms of gameplay. They wanted everything to look cool. What I'll say about that is that if you just stand there and just like shoot your guns as Dante in Devil May Cry 2 and like walk around, the fucking animations and physics on the guns, his hair, It honestly looks better than Devil May Cry 3 in terms of you just put them next to each other and have Dante fire in 2 and 3. But the reason 3's the animations are less, I don't know, lavish and long is because you're supposed to animation cancel them into doing more cool shit.
Yeah. At no point in Devil May Cry 2 did I ever combo into or out of wall run.
Because you can't. You literally, because the animation is so hard-coded so it looks cool, you can't cancel it.
They put in shit that's supposed to look cool. Like, they put in gameplay elements from Drake and the 99 Dragons. It was an attempt at something more. And it was a failure.
All right, I'm gonna go.
But don't you like it how Devil May Cry 2 knows what it is and doesn't take itself too seriously?
It takes itself too seriously, though. That's one of the problems.
That was a callback.
I know, but that's one of the problems with Devil May Cry 2 is Dante is just like Edgelord McEdge.
You don't have to disagree with me.
I know, I'm just angry now.
I'm just saying what he said.
I'm just angry now.
All right, we have to go back because he's doing a thing.
Team knows what it is. And I have to say again that it feels weird to be the only one saying it. Every reviewer I see can't help but fall over each other to praise this game. And believe me, I get it. We all...
Okay, well, I don't want... This is like a bit of a hyperbole, but like... You know, when you're out there screaming to the high heavens, the world is going to end on Thursday, and everyone's like, you fucking idiot. Maybe you should sit down and think to yourself, why am I the only one screaming to heaven that the world's going to end by giant shrimps falling from the sky?
And we've also... No.
Maybe I'm the odd one out.
Dude, all we have to do is say, it doesn't matter what reviewers think of video games or movies or television or books anymore.
Or the general consensus of anything.
It's all bullshit. Look at the user reviews.
Yes. But the thing is, we can't say that because he talked about user reviews before anyway.
Yes. He was talking about user reviews before.
Yeah.
Now he's talking about critic reviews.
Yes. He used the same Metacritic website that... Either way. Either way.
No, he did a switcheroo on you.
Not really. He's just making a call back to his previous references. He just simplified the sentence.
No, he said people were afraid to give Devil May Cry 5 a bad review. Now
okay,
he's
fine.
saying
yes,
critics.
He did say critics
falling over each other.
He does say critics.
He said reviewers.
Yes,
are falling over each other to give this game a good rating. They did that for Call of Duty. It doesn't matter. You look at the user reviews. Yes. Leave one. Actually, you can do that. Like, if you think that Devil May Cry 5 is like a 6 out of 10...
I'll just say it again. There's a reason that the user reviews have it so high.
You will affect the total user rating for Devil May. That's what's so cool about user reviews.
Okay.
Anyone can do it.
All right. So
anyone can give their opinion of a game.
I'm gonna steel man him a bit here. That's the same thing I said last time. In a hypothetical world, there can hypothetically, and I'm sure it exists in the real world, a game that is actually bad, but the fan base is so ravenous about they will defend it and say it's actually good. That can happen. This is basically a pointless argument, even from his side, but that can exist and that can happen. It's meaningless.
I would have to really think about it.
Yes, you have to really think about it.
But in terms of super vocal fan bases, I would say Undertale. But even I like that.
But the game's good. Yeah,
it's a good game.
That's why I'm
like maybe League of Legends.
Yeah, I'm not specifying any specific game.
Isn't like the game is great. You're stupid. Everyone is like, we have to be the best at the game. If you come in and you're gonna mess with my shit,
get in mid, scrub.
Exactly. But I don't think anyone's ever said like this game is objectively bad, and people like.
That's what I'm saying. Who knows? That's not a good example either. I'm saying, hypothetically, this game probably exists somewhere. That's what I would say it as. That we can probably agree that sort of a situation can
I don't know. I literally can't think of one.
But that's what I'm saying. Just don't think about one. Just think about in terms of what you know about people and how things exist. This hypothetically could exist. That's my point.
Yeah, but you're talking about hypothetically like a game that is objectively bad.
Yes.
That general consensus agrees that of its quality.
I'm not talking about general consensus. I'm talking about the more of a ravenous fan base defense. Because what I'm saying here, I'm not talking about Devil May Cry 5. I'm talking about his representation of the fan base is hyper defensive of the game, even though it has a multitude of issues. I'm talking about, is there a game that exists like that he's describing? Yes, theoretically, that kind of situation maybe exists. That's my only point. But my point is then, though, even if that exists, it doesn't fucking matter. You can assess the quality of a game objectively, which you have not done in this video. My point is that, like, even with this argumentation, it doesn't fucking matter.
I'll agree with that.
It doesn't matter what the fuck other people say.
But now I'm going to be thinking about that. What if that game exists? I'm going to be thinking about that all fucking day.
I know, like, it's an interesting question, but, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people say. If there's a Ravenous fan base that says it's great, it doesn't matter if like, this is actually going against what I just said earlier, but it doesn't matter if literally everyone else in the world says something's bad and you're like, but, like, I can literally objectively look down and just, like, write down and figure out what's good, what's bad. 2 + 2 = 2. I mean, 4. Fuck.
That's going to be harder to prove.
Yes, that's hard. It's harder to prove because, like, then you're getting.
I would say near impossible.
Yes, I know, because you're getting into the realm of what actually is good, what actually is art, if not like a set of standards that we have agreed upon.
Because if something is proven
agreed upon as a society,
you won't be the only person who has figured that out.
But I'm saying as a concept, as a philosophical concept, that can exist.
The possibility of it existing, sure. I cannot think of one, and now I'm going to be doing it now.
I'm not talking about
You have ruined
I am
me
not
for
talking
the rest
about
of the day.
I'm not talking about.
No!
Welcome to philosophy, bitch. There's a perfect table out there in some never realm that is the representation of the perfect table. Philosophy. Let's continue before your head implodes.
People wanted this game to happen, and the great hype beast comes for us all. But at some point, we gotta come out of the dark sooner or later, right?
This is just straight insulting people now. Just like, come on, guy, you know the game's bad. Stop defending how bad, like, it's a bad game. You have to, it's undeniable.
There's no way that you could literally sit me down and talk to me for 11 hours about how it's actually good.
Like,
those people don't exist. There's no argument for that kind of thing.
Like this is the worst. This is the worst. Particularly, this is such a bad section to have at the end of your video when the majority of your video is subjective or hyperbole takes about, like, man, this thing's really bad, isn't it? And then doesn't qualify. And then at the end of the video, like, you have to admit it's really bad. Like, you haven't proven any of it.
Basically, I think he can still pull it around.
What do you mean? Well,
by, like, genuinely thanking people who have watched all this way, crediting his, like, videos or, like, a musical fucking number or something. I don't know.
It's springtime for Hitler at the end. You're like, you know what? This wasn't that bad. Like, audiences love it.
I can't believe the hard truth about Devil May Cry 5 is so well reviewed. Critics were fawning over each other to review it favorably.
Like, fucking Twitter reviewing the back like, shit, we've lost all our money. This was supposed to pan.
I'm still on the fence about whether or not this was a genuine attempt to convince people, or whether it was just like they made me mad and now I'm gonna stick it to them.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's to stick it to them. This is generally just and I don't think maybe they view this as
he kind of pulled it around a little bit later. Like, his arguments still weren't really there,
No,
but in the middle of the video, it was pretty okay. The ending of the video, like the 2/3 part, was pretty good, but the beginning of the video felt a little nasty.
Yeah, let's sum that up once we finish it, though.
Okay,
because it could, as you just said,
we could get a musical number.
We could get a musical number, man.
Am I saying that if you enjoy this game, you're wrong? No. But we can't sacrifice standards for hype.
Yes, you did.
Or
yes, you did.
Come on, man. You have to come out of the dark sometime.
That's what you did. That's what you've been doing the whole time.
Come on, man.
What the fuck? What?
You gotta come out of the dark sometime. But it's wrong. It's fine if you want to stay in the dark. What?
Let ourselves fall victim to our own excitement. There are an incredible number of things.
What the
that make
fuck?
Devil May Cry 5 a fun game, but there aren't enough to make it a good one.
Oh, like, that doesn't... None of that follows.
I was fucking flabbergasted.
None of that follows.
Like, we have been like, yeah, wow, the beginning of this movie video feels like, wow, that's kind of nasty, or like, that was a little mean. And then he's like, do I think you're wrong for liking the game? No. And I was...
But what is it? You're wrong. But then he goes into the next thing again by saying the only reason you like it is because you're blinded by your own hype.
I'm gonna use this phrase again. That's fucking Looney Tunes.
What are you?
I honestly thought we were going to end on a high note.
I know, me too. Let's keep going.
Looking back at my previous videos, I'm surprised at how much I got right, even with Itsuno.
What? How? You called Izuno a hack that just did what, like, the upper echelon told him to do. You remember that video? I'm extrapolating a little bit
Are
here.
you serious, dude?
But he said, like, you said Exuno didn't give a shit. He wanted to make DM... Oh, my God. I'm a little angry now.
You can't pat yourself on the back for something
because of his praise
it's not
of the
true.
Itsuno.
Hold on.
No. Going into DMC5, I didn't trust him because of his praise of the DMC reboot, which I thought sucked a lot. And while
Okay, yes, the game sucked. But is it bad for someone to pick out, like, you know what, I still respect what they did, their hard work. Literally all he said is that I like the game, they put a lot of work into it, and I respect what they did. I trust it, like, I like that. Itsuno seems to be a nice dude. Would you want to come out and say, like, yeah, the game sucked, I hated everyone that worked on it? I mean, okay, I'm being hyperbole now, but yeah.
And everyone said I was wrong. Isn't it amazing at how right I am?
Why are you putting a victory lap at the end of your video, dude? After saying, come on, you gotta come out of the dark.
Dude, this is... If... Now is the time, if not ever. Give me a specific... something to work on with this.
I think he's just gonna move on straight to this guy, which I keep forgetting his name. Maybe I'll talk.
that led me to psychoanalyze everything he did afterwards. I realize now that
Oh, you remember that video? He psychoanalyzed how Izuna was on stage. Like, oh, he's all boxed up because he's not confident about his product. He thinks it's bad. Or maybe he's just a Japanese guy in front of an English audience and he's a bit nervous because he doesn't speak English and he's about to deliver an English line.
Okay. So, this is going to be weird. Mm-hmm. This might be a little bit TMI for me to put on the internet. My mother, psychotherapist. Mm-hmm. She did all the general course stuff. She got all the learning, but she specialized in sex addiction, which was wonderful growing up. You can't use the term psychoanalyze and then give your opinion on what you think some guy was thinking. That's literally, like, that's fucked up. That pisses me off.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, quick note from the editor here. We got a little bit of rowdy with the whiskey, and I personally broke off into a tangent here that has even less to do with Devil May Cry 5 than our other tangents. And so I actually did cut a little bit of this discussion here. This is actually the first time that I've done that in this series, and I don't plan on doing it really ever again. But if I do, I will always make sure to mention that there was a cut here. Keep me honest. I just started talking about psychotherapy in general. Had nothing to do with Devil May Cry. Sorry.
Sorry, what he said, probably not so bad. He probably meant something else, but used a clinical term. Well, pseudo-clinical term. That got my fucking blood up. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, it wasn't good in the first video. That's what I say. If you remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember he went from this image to Izuna looks a bit stiff on stage to I forget. I can't remember what exactly it was, but basically along the lines of he doesn't he's not confident in the game. It's not good. He didn't want to make. He said he didn't want. He was saying that I think Izuna didn't want to make Devil May Cry 5 or something along those lines, but he was told by a professional to make it. I'm like, you're insane. But let's keep going. I could be wrong. I haven't seen it in a long time. But oh man. But why are you doing a victory lap now? This is so weird. Moving on.
Actually right. Just about the wrong game.
You're right.
DMC5 wasn't his monument to compromise. His development role for the DMC reboot was. If Ruben Langdon is to be believed, in his recent controversial interview, that Itsuno almost quit Capcom over the DMC reboot, then I think it's about time Itsuno took a chance on making something he believed in, which is really all I ever wanted to see him do. Because after all this time...
Alright, pause. Let's read the article.
Oh, we want to go back to read the article? Well, I can give you basically all it is. All it is that Ruben Langdon said insinuates that Itsuno was considering leaving after DMC Devil May Cry didn't do well.
Oh wow, shocking!
I know. And in terms of the Japanese realm, and
now that DMC5 did well. Wait a minute.
What?
Itsuno did work on something he wanted to do. It's called Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah,
He's making 2 right now because DMC5 was a success.
We hope. No confirmation. Just for
Confirmation.
We got
He
confirmation?
is working on.
Oh, shit! Okay, sorry.
Dragon's Dogma
I got excited. Moving on. Yeah. I mean, like, once again, you weren't right then. You're just retroactively pulling back what you said, but saying you're still right. That's weird. Like what he did is he changed what he said in the previous video. He was like, I was right, but about the wrong thing. It was actually Devil May Cry 5 was his mind meant to compromise. It was DMC Devil May Cry. I'm like, no, it wasn't. In DMC Devil May Cry, he was brought in at the end to try and salvage what the game was. He didn't work out it from the very beginning. He didn't compromise. He just took what they had into trying to make it playable and a game. That's not compromise. That's fixing something on a deadline.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Looney Tunes again.
But now he's saying that, like, oh yeah, Izuno actually gave a shit about Devil May Cry 5.
Len was like, yeah, DMC Devil May Cry wasn't that great. I would want to leave that studio too.
No, he wanted to leave. I think it was partly because he was just disappointed in everything. Because he was proud of
exactly.
he was proud of it, but he was disappointed it didn't do well, and he felt depressed about it.
Yeah,
basically, because
I mean, of course he had to feel proud about it. He fucking made a functional. I bet that when fucking Singularity went out, the Raven software team was like high-fiving each other like, we are not going to close.
Oh, God, I love that
Doors
game.
are still open, baby!
Yeah.
The lights are on!
Good game. But, okay, let's keep going. Oh, man.
I do honestly believe now that Itsuno just wanted to make a fun game. Does it mean that I have to like what he's made? No, of course not.
Okay, yeah, I agree
But
with
in
that.
this case...
Isn't that walking back everything you said?
What do you mean?
Itsuno just wanted to make a fun game?
Oh, that smacks in the face of complete opposite of what he said about Izuno in his previous video, even though he said he got it right. In the previous video, he says that, like, Izuno didn't really want to make Devil May Cry 5, and he was minded of compromise because he just wanted to make DMC 2 again. But he couldn't, because the upper said, no, you actually gotta make Devil May Cry 5. He's like, okay, I'll make Devil May Cry 5, but I'll just make it everything to be as close to DMC 2 as I can.
Equivalent of like Charlie Brown and the football. Like, I'm gonna say something nice about the fans, then I'm gonna
Take
it out.
Like, I just
You're completely you're like, if you like the game, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're wrong for liking it, but
come out of the door.
Blinded by hype.
I don't understand. It's also that
I was right about Itsuno. Oh, but all he wants to do is make a fun game. It's compromise.
Moving on.
And that Devil May Cry 5 can simply be a difference of opinion and priorities between what I wanted and what he wanted. I will admit, though, that it...
Did you just say everything that you said was subjective? Rewind that. I'm standing up now.
I'm happy for him. And that Devil May Cry 5 can simply be a difference of opinion and priorities between what I wanted and what he wanted. I will...
This didn't need to be 40 minutes. This did not need to be 40 minutes.
What I'm going to say about this is that you can say that, oh, it was just my opinion and how I felt about the Devil May Cry franchise and stuff. Doesn't change the fact that you made objective statements in your video that were wrong.
No, he said subjective statements as if they were objective.
Yes, well, we also made objective claims.
But that's what an objective claim is.
Yes. It's objective. We're getting to the nitty gritty here, but he made claims.
What I think he was doing was he was saying subjective things about the game,
yes,
and claiming that they are objective faults.
He did that, but there was also a few sections where he said that, like, I'm trying to think of an example. Basically, X happened like this, and we're like, no, it didn't. You forgot this entire thing. Right. Because he said all the Arisen Vice are the same. We're no, they're not.
That's true.
What I'm saying, he mixed in, like, obviously there was by far too much hyperbole with just subjective things that were not qualified, but he did make objectively wrong statements in this video.
That one sentence, fucking crushed my soul.
Yes.
Because for all of the problems with this, I was going to give him ultimate props for not hiding behind subjectivity.
And there he is.
Like, this is it.
Maybe it's
like,
just
this is like my take on Devil May Cry 5. Love it or hate it, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
Like something so opinionated and so hard is from a entertainment aspect. Like, I would rather watch this than like 1,000 other Like, oh, that's just my opinion, guys. Leave what you thought in the comment, and be sure to leave a like. Like, that kind of crap.
Yeah.
I was like, I would watch this again and again and again over that stuff.
Yes.
And now it's gone.
It's gone. Like, I just, because this is a side tangent, but if everything...
I've been wanting to say that about, like, give him props for that since episode fucking 3.
I know, because, like, it felt, like, even though his argumentation was really bad, it felt like he was trying to put forth an opinion and back it up, even though
like,
he
I was
failed.
like, make more videos. I want to see what you think about whatever.
Yeah. Maybe... Okay, we're not done. We're not done. Maybe he'll pull it back. I don't know. Musical number.
Maybe there will be a dance number.
We'll admit, though, that it is super weird to see so much of the DMC reboot in DMC 5, but who am I to know what Itsuno...
Okay,
I'm sorry. Let that play.
I don't... How...
Let that play.
But there
Let
isn't,
that play.
though!
Stop. Let that...
was inspired by or not.
Stop. Go back. Go back. Let that whole sentence play.
Okay.
I would,
Where? From...
in this case, like a fun...
No.
This time,
Keep going forward.
I do honestly believe now that Itsuno just wanted to make a fun game. Does it mean that I have to like what he's made? No, of course not. But in this case, I'm happy for him. And that Devil May Cry 5 can simply be a difference of opinion and priorities between what I wanted and what he wanted.
We said that in
I will
episode
admit,
2.
though, that it is super weird to see so much of the DMC reboot
No.
in DMC 5.
This.
But who am I to know what Itsuno is inspired by or not? Following the...
He put out 2 videos saying that he knew what Itsuno was inspired about.
He just talked about it again!
Yeah.
Well, there's also the fact that, like, once again, he puts in another little jab of, like, wow, it's weird that there's so much DMC in DMC 5. I'm like, but there isn't. You had an entire section of just the most superficial, like, on face value.
On face, like, Cliff Notes, Wikipedia. Like, ugh.
Man, this Justice League movie is so much like Infinity War. There's a big bad guy and a team of people that come together.
Oh,
Wow.
God. I'm sorry.
Ocean's 11's a lot like Avengers Infinity, like Avengers. They have to assemble a
God,
team.
Band of Brothers is just like Endgame.
Like, it's just like all you did was just like, wow, this guy looks like that guy, and they swing a sword in the same way. Therefore, they're the same person. Like, oh my god, dude. Because that section, like, there was like what? Actually, there was nothing.
Wow, I'm drunk. I'm the drunkest I've been. Like, my cheeks are red. I feel like
I think drinking was a bad idea because I was
drinking for this section.
I
was
was
bad.
He was. I thought this was.
You are very passionate.
I am very angry.
Even though I was the one who stood up and went, "What?"
Let's keep going.
The Langdon interview, I'm alright with whatever Itsuno wanted to make. As for Matt Walker,
Yeah. Okay.
What's wrong with that statement? And that's his name, Matt Walker. I love Matt Walker. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a cool coat.
The reason I like Matt Walker is every time he come out, he's the kind of guy, even though, like, you can tell he kind of pushes himself to get the hype up and just try and be as much fun as he can. Even though he might not be as comfortable doing it, or maybe he's just a bit awkward. Either way, I love his energy. Yeah. He seems like a fun guy. Who gives a shit. And like
I haven't seen enough of him to have an opinion on.
He's been in a few interviews, and like he was basically the number 2 next to Asuno. Basically, he was
good.
He always translated for Asuno and stuff too. Either way. But what the fuck is this, dude? DMC had nothing to do with this conversation. It doesn't.
Put out a game. And he's like, I made that. Like, I compromised with Ninja Theory, or not compromised, but like I worked with Ninja Theory to complete this and get it out the door. Faults and all, it's a game that I made.
And I made it. I'm proud of it. You haven't watched One Piece, but never... Always be proud of the ships you make, Frankie! I wonder if anyone will get that reference.
Oh, did you just... No, there will be no anime in these hallowed halls.
But goddammit, like, Izuno's sticking to that in the way that, like, I made it, I'm sticking by it, I'm proud of the thing I made, even with the faults. The thing is, he might have issues with it. Look, he hasn't really talked about it too much.
And when it didn't sell particularly well, like, that was a blow.
It was a blow to him. He felt bad, because, like, he wanted to keep it, like, Devil May Cry going. He was proud of what Ninja Theory made. And it was sad that it didn't do as well. Like, oh, come on, man. Like, and then, like, what's this?
And Ninja Theory then went on to make a fucking great ass game.
And now he's taking instead of like, weirdly enough, like, if he is so bent up on DMC being bad and DMC being like Devil May Cry 5, why is he putting on Matt Walker, who's just defending Asuno? Like, hey man, Asuno liked it. That's the end of the story. It has nothing to do with Devil May Cry 5 or this conversation about Devil May Cry 5. And he's like, oh, it's Matt Walker opinion here defending it. I'm like, what? Why are you attacking Asuno more than? Why are you letting Asuno pass if that's your opinion? Even though it's insane, I don't understand what is happening here. I'm gonna pull it back and we're gonna keep going.
All right.
Yeah, by the way, and also, like, Ninja Theory, props for fucking... Ninja Theory was Senua's Sacrifice, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, good, because sometimes I get Team Ninja and Ninja Theory.
Oh yeah.
Team Ninja is... Well, they were Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Now they're, Extreme Tits Volleyball. You know what's really awful?
What floats your boat, man?
I was thinking about
What?
buying
Buying
you that game for Christmas
Oh,
a couple of
Jesus
years ago.
Christ.
There's got to be something there.
Probably it's Team Ninja.
Like, dude, sex sells, and we know that. And it's not like, okay, if you play this game to look at tits when there are free alternatives, that's a little embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't say don't buy it. But, like, dude, there's so much shit on the internet that's just free. I don't see the appeal of Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. And I want Ninja Gaiden, which further clouds my reasoning when it comes to fucking Team Ninja. Where is fucking Ninja Gaiden 4?
Okay.
Because Ninja Gaiden 3,
The alcohol is
Razor's
talking.
Edge,
Let's take it back.
It's actually pretty good.
let's see what he has to say about that one.
3!
The alcohol was a bad idea, man.
We shouldn't have gone to whiskey.
I'm all right with whatever Itsuno wanted to make. As for Matt Walker, following this game,
Okay, so I have to stop. He acts like that speaks for itself. What is wrong with that tweet? He's literally just clarifying what the opinion that Itsuno has about Devil May Cry.
No, what you need to do
DMC.
is you need to go down into the...
Oh my
you need
God.
to go down to the basement underneath Kakariko Village
Yeah, okay.
and get the lens of truth,
Jesus, what is happening?
and then look at that tweet using the lens of truth to see what he actually meant.
Do I have to do I have to
as for Matt
fucking
Walker,
Okay, let's see.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding here. DMC
no.
has nothing to do with this
No,
conversation. Itsuno-san was really was proud of what Capcom and Ninja Theory accomplished together on that game. Not BSing here.
Every third word. There, a misunderstanding. DMC, nothing with conversation. Usuno, I don't. Is there? It's every second word. I don't understand.
Wait, it's the Simpsons thing. IHRAI. Era.
Era. What is happening? God damn it! We were last episode. We were on a boat of sanity, and now we're just in the storm of the seas of just fucking obscurity, of nothing making sense. He's the sea monster, just like rearing his head up, like Isuno, Matt Walker, and we're on this boat of like, calm down. Nothing you say makes sense. DMC is like Devil May Cry 5.
Okay, you're at like a 7. I need you at like a 4.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. Let's finish this video.
Hell, it was a mistake.
following this game has been a long, weird experience. Not all of our content will be this
We concur.
polarizing. I have a really sweet video I'm making about how Resident Evil 4 would make the perfect movie. But I'm also really lazy and take a really long time to make these videos.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 could
But
be
until-
a good movie.
I want to see. Straight up, I want to see that video.
That's not wrong.
No.
Because Resident Evil 4 is an homage. Well, not a direct homage, but it is a B movie.
Yeah.
That's the point.
You're
Sadler, you're small time.
Like, no, I think it's okay. Honestly, and this is I'm taking the alcohol out of my system. I would want to see that video. This is no and I
agree.
And the thing is, I feel like you can make some good points about it because that's inherently a subjective like layout of something to do with it. Maybe a few
There's
objective
some
things.
objective stuff in there.
There
because
is.
That game was designed to be similar to a B movie.
Yes.
So technically, adapting it to be a movie from Leon's perspective really wouldn't be that hard.
No, true. The thing is, like, okay, yeah, I watched that video and I honestly don't even think it would be that bad. Although I don't know in terms of like where his brain goes with Devil May Cry. I don't know anymore. But I'd watch it nevertheless.
No, I think he should.
I
Continue.
want him to make more
Either them.
videos.
I think it's 2.
It might be 2, but I don't know because we've only heard one voice. So, but I don't know if that means anything.
It might be one script writer, one editor.
Yeah, maybe, or
We don't know.
yeah, we don't know. Either way, If it's 2 guys, more than that,
That sounds like an interesting video idea. Not a whole lot of people have talked about that.
no, that's an interesting video. I would definitely watch the video. Tell me more about that. But let's keep going.
Till then, this is a review, and
Okay.
this game deserves a rating. For the first time, we'd like to introduce the legendary twin rating, by which all manner of media shall be judged.
Okay.
Devil May Cry 5 receives 0.666 twins out of 2. Until next time.
God damn it. He's just doing the joke review thing. I'm like, okay, I understand. Numerical systems for rating are sometimes pointless, but like I'm a little disappointed that he hyped that up and it's just like nothing.
What could be more pointless than 0.666 out of
2? Just like, okay, well, I mean, like we have 45 minutes. We know his opinion of the game, but it's just like, why'd you even put that section in there? It's just a joke. It's a long-winded joke that I don't care
Well,
for.
I mean, no, it was one of the jokes in the video
Yeah.
that like kind of had a setup and punchline.
That's true.
Like in terms,
Humor-
it like wasn't particularly mean-spirited
Humor
because
is
it wasn't really, it was nonsense. It
Yeah.
wasn't really about anything.
yeah, humor is subjective, so sure.
Like he gave it
someone
a rating,
laughed at
and
it.
it was, but we don't even really. So it wasn't even really a low rating because
yeah.
the whole rating system is nonsense.
Yeah, I just thought.
Like as a joke, that one almost worked.
Yeah.
I would say it did work.
Yeah, the reason I don't like it is because that's just basically a copy from like I think CinemaSins and other channels do that sort of thing. I've seen it before, but like that's not inherently bad. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad joke. I just don't care for it. That's subjective.
Here's also something.
Yes. Okay.
Giving I give movies that I see number ratings.
Yeah. Same.
Because that is basically just to jog my memory
About-
when I go back and I look at the list and I see, I'm like, what did I think about that? And I see the number and I go, okay, that's not particularly favorable. What was it about that?
Yeah.
That like I see like Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I gave it a fucking 2.
Oh, that movie's
And I was
not
like,
good.
why is that? Oh, right. You know, the actors have no chemistry. It's like 3.5 hours long. Like the CG's fucking astounding.
He's great.
But
Good amount of practical effects too, all things considered. Good amount of practical effects, all things
Yes, it
considered. Yeah.
and it didn't really follow the source material as well. It was one of those things that takes. It was one of those movies that takes like a fairly long, multi-issued comic
Yeah.
and puts it into one movie.
He tries to
like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a great movie. But what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is that as long as you don't call this the definitive, like numerical, like this is the objective seal of quality for a game.
Yeah.
Numerical like rating is fine
Yeah. All right. I got nothing.
as long as it's like for you.
Yes. Which is why, like, even though like I agree with objective rating, I mean not ratings, but like of a breaking down of media. But whenever I rank something on the list I keep, they're always subjective takes in terms of the numerical ratings. Because for me, like at least in terms of that's how I rate it. I could give them objective scores, but I'm like, but for me on my list, I'm like, I want to know how I felt about
That
it.
would be really interesting.
What?
If we. Oh God.
What?
If there actually is someone still listening, that would be so fucking interesting.
What?
If you and I did a video on what our together favorite movies of the past couple of years were,
Okay.
versus what we believe to be the objective best movies.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah. Because
There's like fucking Rambo: Last Blood.
Oh God, that
not gonna be on the objective list, movies
but on the
list,
subjective
but on the
list.
subjective number one, motherfucker.
You
No, it's
literally
probably
started
like a top
clapping
5.
in the movie theater.
I was like, shotguns, yeah.
Now let's finish the video. But
What happened in that movie theater is what the Doom Annihilation people thought that their shotgun moment was going to get. I think I just farted with my mouth. Did you hear that?
Yes, and it was disgusting.
I went, thought.
Adios, garbage Dante. Nice
No.
meeting you all. Time. Adios, garbage Dante. Nice meeting you all. Nos vemos.
Don't use a good movie like that. I don't like you.
Whatever.
If no one knows that movie, look it up and watch it.
Spotless Mind?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's the first movie that like people would find out that Jim Carrey loves really strange philosophical movies. Because it's the most popular one. Because he's been doing it for years. Back when he did more movies, he would ricochet from.
Like, I know this is going to be weird coming
Yes.
from me, but we've got like 30 seconds left.
Let's finish it.
Like, no more tangents.
All right, that's fine. As I said before, I see.
Stop pausing!
I just want to talk about.
so close!
I just want to talk about what he's saying here. We already talked about it before, but I understand where he's coming from in the way that he didn't like the Dante and Devil May Cry 5 because he liked Dante and Devil May Cry 1 more. But that's a different tangent. Done.
Play. Hit play. Play it.
Poor Jim Carrey.
Yes! Alright, pause. Pause. Stop it!
No, hold on. We have 10 more seconds.
Alright, as long as it doesn't autoplay.
Is this copyrighted?
I don't care. No, I literally don't care.
Alright, I'm just gonna draw this back into like a black screen.
That's fine.
Okay. We're done. That was... I didn't expect this summation to be the most painful bit, but it kind of was.
No, that last bit, like, I expected it to be kind of smooth fucking sailing.
I thought it was too, because I thought he would just be like, oh yeah, I said this in the previous one, like, yeah, we talked about
Oh,
that.
I know
it's
you
wrong.
thought it was going to be, because I started pouring whiskey, and then you were like, give a little here. Give
Yeah.
daddy some sugar.
Yeah, and then we got to, you gotta come out of the darkness, but you're blinded by hype.
Legions of the world come out of the closet. Admit that Devil May Cry 5 already sucks.
I don't... Oh, man. Come on, guy.
Rend your shackles.
All right,
Proclaim to the sky.
we're wrapping up.
Dante is not cool.
We're wrapping up now. So, like, if I were to make a video like this, if I like, gun to my head, like, you gotta make a video that criticizes Devil May Cry 5, how the fuck are you gonna structure it? First thing I'm gonna do is not insult fans in the very beginning of it.
No, insulting your viewer base will make people disagree with you reactionarily.
Especially when you already know that the majority of your viewer base are gonna be people coming back because you already made a bad Devil May Cry 5 video that people didn't like.
Yeah, this is like, he made a video, and then people criticized him for it, and then he got defensive.
And then he doubled down.
He doubled down, and then people got defensive, and so he was attacking fans who were already looking for a reason to admonish him.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, they would come back and admonish him anyway. If I was in his position, I was making like a full review of Devil May Cry 5, but I was going to be a negative review. I would first off be like, or I would extend as much olive branches in the structure as possible. Also, I wouldn't have had any of his opinions that he had, but irregardless, I would have been like, in the very beginning, be like, all right, so this is my full review. You didn't like this last one, but in this video, I'm going to hopefully expand upon the why I have this opinion that I do.
In this episode,
I probably could have kept the same structure that he had, breaking it down in different parts. But you were saying,
in this episode, do you want to talk about our problems with Devil May Cry 5 that weren't actually mentioned?
that'll be next episode.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Because I've wanted to talk about something for a while.
Oh, how big is it? Because I feel like we might want to keep
It's
it
chunky.
We'll keep it for the next one.
Okay.
Because the next one.
Okay, so then this is, and now you can quote me on this. This is the penultimate episode.
Yes.
Of the Devil May Cry 5 topic.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't even know the definition of that word, but all right.
Second to last.
Okay. Penultimate it is then.
Penultimate, yes.
So what we were talking about before, we were talking about this video in totality. Because we were kind of summing it up before, I remember.
Okay. I think this video stands far too much on hyperbole.
I agree.
Because it bills itself as an objective review of the game.
I mean, the title is The Hard Truth.
Now, you can take the piss on something without giving hard specifics. Like when I admonished the Tom Clancy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I just showed footage of their games that I didn't like, and then I was like, look at how much all of this costs. Mm-hmm. You know, the Ultimate Editions. Like, when I was talking about Rainbow Six Siege, the only thing that I showed was one page worth of DLCs that was all different skins for one of the guns, and each one of them was $3. Each of the skins is $3 for one gun that I'm not sure what is in the game. I don't know.
Okay.
You might have to buy it. I don't know that. But like, fucking Dick Tracy, I am not. For those of you who are young, Sherlock Holmes, I am not. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't go into the nitty-gritty and find all of the details. Like, if I wanted to make a video that's like, this is an objective truth, if the current Tom Clancy team made a Splinter Cell game, I'm not sure it would live up to the legacy. I bet you I could do that.
You know what? I bet you we're going to have an opportunity to do that at some point in the future.
But
Yes.
the video that I put out is not that.
Oh, no. Yours is 100% just a short, like, almost parody hyperbole video for fun.
Yes. It was. I also fucking hate the Tom Clancy or the Ghost Recon
Wildlands?
2 trailer that has Lil Wayne in it.
Oh, God.
So I put that at the end.
Oh, God.
Wayne Michael Carter Jr. You know.
Moving on. Yes.
So, but like if people take me to task on that, like that's fine
Yeah, because, like...
because it's not particularly billed as an objective review.
No, yeah. It's not 43 minutes the hard truth about Splinter Cell.
Like, and if someone takes me to task on that, then that ball will be in my court, and I will have to do something about that.
Yeah, if you wanted
but
to,
that's beside the point.
Honestly, like, I almost won't even make a full video about that topic if they do announce another Splinter Cell. We can actually delve into it more. I think that would be fun, but that's future.
I have a lot of anxiety about the future of Tom Clancy.
I think I'm with you on that, but that's a whole other topic we can get to that another time.
Season 1 of Jack Ryan, not bad.
Yeah, well, let's keep on task with this. I guess. What else can we say about this video? I was just gonna say about like, I hope that the honestly like large amount of negativity towards this video, us kind of included, unfortunately. I hope that doesn't put them off from making more videos, because I would very much like to see these Devil May Cry 4. I mean,
You did get a bit passionate, saying things like, you put out a bad video, I don't want to hear your sob story. You got passionate, and you said things which are true,
yes,
but are a little mean.
Okay, yeah, they're mean.
And I heard some
I
things
tried.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I tried not to be, but like, at least when I was talking about that, it was more in the structure. I'm trying not to defend myself, because I did say I was mean, but
This dude is now
Yes.
This dude is now living in a realm of auteur. Like if you want to live in a realm of controversial content,
yeah,
even if it's just contrarian for the sake of it,
yeah,
like there's an audience for that.
That's true.
And I will keep coming back.
I will
to
watch
whatever
it.
you do.
I will keep watching.
I don't
videos.
think we'll even make responses about it.
No, I don't think
because
so
I
either.
don't think because Ian chose this as the first episode.
I mean, if
because
they
Devil May Cry 5 is something that he's particularly passionate about.
Well, both of us are.
Well, I like Devil May Cry in general, but I probably wouldn't go looking for a video like this.
But
I mean, I will now because we're the response team.
If this,
we're the response team.
If they make another video of this quality of being this particularly bad about a subject I care about, maybe it'll response. But the thing is, I mostly just want to watch their content, because be it the structure and argumentation for this video was very poor. It was at least nice to watch. It's well edited and well made. Actually, while we're talking about this, before I forget, I want to check: did you indeed give credit to Crobat, or did you not? I need to know. What are these time marks for, I wonder? I fucking found a dumpster. Okay. Alright, here we go. It looks like he does, Crobat. Okay, he gives links to it. I'm glad. Gaming World, he gives links to everyone. I'm fine with that, then. I mean, that's a little weird that you put sources for everyone else except for that, but whatever. You were picking and choosing, because it looks like a lot of your stuff was from a lot of different people that you didn't particularly cite, but whatever.
Yeah, that's weird. I really hope Dunguri knows that he was in this.
Yeah, but like when you put videos out online and out there, it happens. Like it's kind of just it's out in the ether now. You can't control it. But that's a whole other conversation.
No, I don't think he was wrong to put Dunguri in here.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to know what Dunguri would think about that.
That's true. Yeah. Well, anything else to say? Well, I guess to sum it up, if this isn't the last episode about Devil May Cry 5, but it's the last one covering the hard truth about Devil May Cry 5 video in itself, I just wanted to put out a thank you for anyone who even watched any of this. I mean, if you only watched part of it, you're not hearing this right now. But regardless, thank you for everyone that's watched this. I mean, fucking seriously,
that's something. We are now basically as long. As if this is the 2-hour mark for this episode, we are literally this is the length of Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the part I also want to put out, because if there's something you want us to do on this channel, or in videos you want us to cover in this format, for different topics, let us know. Like, let us know in the comments, and like anywhere else, even if
Be sure to ring that bell. For
I will stab you. Fucking dislike the video.
Please do.
Please, let's just
no. Well, I don't actually know what the bell even does.
Oh, if you subscribe, it means nothing anymore. To get notifications when you get something, you have to click the bell.
That's fucking stupid.
It's really stupid.
Wait, what is the subscribe anyway? Just
Nothing.
an objective or a subjective number for me to feel good about?
Yes.
When I see it? Oh, well, I do.
It also might go into what you get recommended, but who fucking knows? YouTube's an enigma in and of itself. What is the algorithm?
I would say that as a community, if REEsponse is a community, even if it's a tiny one, I think we should subscribe to Twin Review.
I'm already subscribed. I'm already.
I am too, actually.
Twin Review.
I think that. Honestly, that's it. I think if
you like his content, you want to see more, go subscribe. That's up to you.
I think that he or they were put off from making another video because I don't think they expected the response that they got.
Definitely, it was an abrasive first foot to put forward twice, but
but I feel as though that shouldn't be the only thing we see from them.
No, I want to see more of them. Considering like the quality of editing and like video presentation. It's one of the best. I already mentioned it before, but I want to talk about more at the end of the video. Like, it's incredibly impressive because you see it very rarely in video essays that people give enough of a shit to have what's on screen be relevant to what they're talking about at that exact moment. Very rare do you find it in video essays, especially when that's 43 minutes long. That's a lot of editing and a lot of care that they put into that video. And I want to see more from it.
Yeah, I know. I made a fucking stupid pizza peenie joke in one of our mod videos, and that took me like 40 minutes, just that like 9 seconds. I was like, wow, I don't want to do this anymore. No, I fucking want to do the 4th episode. I'm still editing it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but really, that's it. I fucking love you guys, honestly.
Fucking big time, guys. You guys are fucking best.
I was, I'm probably going to put out another little video that just basically asks questions of people, basically like tell me what you want to see or things that you're interested in. I mean, I'm not vain enough to think that if I started like a Discord server that people would come and recommend videos to us. But like maybe like, hey, there's something cool here. Like a guy was like, yo, do that video on God of War.
Yeah.
Like a retrospective on the series, the two of us in this format. I like the idea. I don't know if we're going to do it anytime soon, but I like the idea.
And at this point, we just want to put feelers out to what people want to see. Be it right now we're on the REEsponse format, but like we probably have ideas for more structured content that we could possibly do at some point.
And even if we don't respond to them, we will read all of the comments.
Every single comment we always read.
Like I've said this before, I am extremely insecure. I read every comment. I get notifications on my phone where people are like 0 out of 10 unsubscribe, and I'm like, oh,
sir, you're next in line. No, I need to read my YouTube comments.
No, that's when I respond to comments. Actually, like when I'm online at a deli, like in the morning, I'm just like, let's just see what Big Daddy Scrumbumbulus has to say.
The tears rolling down your face.
Yeah.
Like, sir, do you want your ham brisket or not?
Make it salty.
Oh,
don't need to
God.
put salt in. I'm making some right now.
All right, I think we're rambling now. Final thoughts.
I had fun.
Me too. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Where's my sunglasses?
Where's my whiskey?
Everything's changed. That's how it starts. The fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel